Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, hold on to your hats because the NFL offseason just got a whole lot more intriguing. Rumors are swirling around the Washington Commanders potentially making a blockbuster move that could reshape their secondary, and more importantly, give them a real shot at elevating their defense for the upcoming season. Word on the street is that Washington is eyeing a trade for Budda Baker, the standout safety from the Arizona Cardinals. Now I know what you're thinking, this is big news, and it could be a game changer for the Commanders, especially after what was a somewhat inconsistent season defensively. So let's break down what this potential trade involves and why it could be a major boost for Washington. First off, Budda Baker is no ordinary safety. The guy is a game wrecker, a true playmaker who can change the complexion of a game with his instincts, speed, and versatility. At 29 years old, Baker is in the prime of his career, and he's bringing a wealth of experience that Washington desperately needs, especially in their secondary, which has been a bit porous lately. The rumors suggest that the Commanders are willing to part with a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick in this year's draft in exchange for Baker. That's a significant investment, but considering his impact, it might be well worth it. Now the Cardinals are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They're sitting at 5-9 this season and appear to be prioritizing cap space, with around $80 million in free cap, to focus on their future, especially around Kyler Murray, who's been recovering from injuries but remains a key piece for their plans moving forward. The Cardinals are also emphasizing youth, trying to rebuild their defense after giving up an average of 26 points per game. They're looking to move some veteran pieces, and Baker, with his versatility and leadership, fits the bill perfectly. Let's talk about Baker's stats, because these numbers really tell you what kind of player he is. Over his career, he's accumulated over 812 tackles, which already shows his relentless drive and his ability to be around the ball. He's also snagged 8 interceptions, demonstrating his knack for making plays in coverage. His PFF coverage grade has consistently been impressive, sitting at 92, one for his career, which is elite for a safety. That's the kind of coverage skill the Commanders need to help reduce the explosive plays that have haunted them in recent seasons. And speaking of coverage, in 2025, Baker's projected stats include around 112 tackles, which would put him among the top safeties in the league, along with 3 interceptions and 8 pass defenses. His overall PFF grade in 2025 is projected around 89.0, and he's a player who can impact the game both against the run and in pass coverage. Baker's impact isn't just about raw stats. His presence on the field would elevate Washington's entire secondary, which has been a weak spot, especially against deep passes. Last season, the Commanders were giving up roughly 210 yards a game through the air. That's a lot, especially when you consider that NFL teams are more pass-happy than ever. Bringing in a player like Baker, who can impact coverage and reduce those deep passes, would be a massive upgrade. Some analysts even compare what Baker brings to the table to the kind of impact a player like Ed Reed had in Baltimore, a dynamic playmaking safety who could change the game at any moment. Now, let's look at how this could influence Washington's playoff chances and their path towards Super Bowl LXI. Right now, the Commanders are sitting at odds of around plus 15, 0 to plus 5, 500 to win the Super Bowl, depending on the sportsbook. That's a significant jump, and adding a player of Baker's caliber could shift those odds even further in their favor. His ability to create turnovers with a 5.1% INT per target rate in playoffs makes him an X-factor when it counts most. Imagine a secondary with Baker patrolling the deep middle, accelerating the pass rush, and leading the defensive backfield. That kind of upgrade could turn close games into wins and help Washington climb the NFC standings, giving them a better shot at a deep playoff run. In addition, Baker's leadership and experience are invaluable. He's been a cornerstone for the Cardinals' defense and a vocal leader on the field. His presence would not only improve their coverage, but also inspire the younger players in Washington's secondary, like Cam Curl or Benjamin St. Just. It's about building a cohesive unit that can compete with the best defenses in the league. With Baker in the lineup, the Commanders could see a boost in their overall defensive efficiency, especially in third-down situations and red zone defense, where they've struggled at times. From a strategic standpoint, this move would allow Washington to focus on other areas in the draft or free agency, knowing they've secured a top-tier safety. The NFL is a league where game-changing players make all the difference, and Baker's track record suggests he's exactly that. His ability to cover, tackle, and create turnovers is what makes him a perfect fit for a team looking to compete now and build for the future. Plus, with the cap space the Cardinals have freed up, they're clearly looking to reshape their roster around younger talents and draft picks, making a trade for Baker a logical step. Now, I know there are skeptics out there. Some might wonder if the price is worth it, or if Baker's age might become a concern down the road. But let's be real. The value of a player like Baker, who can instantly elevate your defense, often outweighs the cost, especially when it can lead to more wins and a shot at the Super Bowl. The Commanders have been building steadily, and acquiring a player of Baker's caliber could be the final piece to push them over the edge. It's a bold move, but sometimes you have to take risks if you want to reach the mountaintop. And considering the recent history of the NFC East, where teams are investing heavily to improve their rosters, Washington knows they can't afford to fall behind. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are all making moves, and the Commanders need to respond in kind. Adding Baker would send a clear message that Washington is serious about contending and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. It's about changing the narrative, shifting the power dynamics in the division, and creating a defense that can hold up against the league's best offenses. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what does this all mean for the upcoming season? Well, if the trade goes through, Washington fans can expect a more aggressive, more confident defense that can handle the league's high-powered offenses. Baker's addition would give them a much-needed boost in the back end, helping to reduce the explosive plays and create more turnovers, exactly what's needed to flip the script in close games. It's not just about adding another player. It's about elevating the entire unit, making the defense more cohesive, and giving the offense more opportunities to score. The Commanders have been steadily rebuilding and reshaping their roster, and this move could be the key piece that pushes them from a decent team to a legitimate playoff contender. With a strong defense led by a playmaker like Baker, they could challenge the NFC dominance of teams like the Eagles or even surprise some skeptics in the postseason. It's all about the right pieces falling into place at the right time, and adding a star safety like Baker might just be the move that sets everything in motion. Now, in terms of the fan reaction, I know there's a lot of excitement and anticipation. Washington fans have been craving a true game-changer on defense, and Baker fits that mold perfectly. His leadership, experience, and ability to make game-changing plays could be exactly what this team needs to take that next step. Plus, it sends a message across the league that the Commanders are serious about contending and that they're ready to make bold moves to get there. Looking ahead, if this trade happens, it will undoubtedly become a talking point all offseason. Fans will debate the value, the cost, and the impact, but one thing is clear: Baker's presence would be felt immediately. The secondary would instantly become more reliable, and the team's overall defensive identity would shift towards a more aggressive, opportunistic style. That's the kind of identity that can carry a team deep into the playoffs and maybe even bring that elusive Super Bowl trophy back to DC. So, Washington fans, keep your eyes peeled because this story is developing. It's a bold move, but sometimes you have to take big chances if you want big rewards. The Commanders have a chance to redefine their defense, and if they pull off this trade, it could be the move that transforms their entire season. The NFC East is only getting tougher, but with a player like Baker, Washington could be the team to beat. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Are you excited about the possibility of Baker in the burgundy and gold? Do you think this move will push them over the edge and make them serious contenders? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.